back of the rim. Garnett on the slam foul. Using Curry way downtown. Oh, what a shot from Curry.
No smooth ad intro today, I just gotta get this out of the way first. Thanks to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. SeatGeek is the amazing app that provides you with the easiest way to buy tickets for almost any kind of event, which would most likely be sports related for you all. The app pulls tickets from all over the web and has them in one place to make purchasing one for your event really easy, and it also assures you'll be getting the best value for your ticket. While searching for your tickets, each one is ranked with a score from 1 to 100 that lets you know if you're getting a good deal or not for your purchase. On top of that, the app also provides you with the detailed view of what you would see from your seat before you even get there, which is extremely helpful. If you're interested in downloading this app, the links will be in both the comment section and highlighted in the description. If you're still on the fence, consider using my promo code DOM2K to get $20 off your first purchase. What's up NBA fans, Dom2K on the mic, and I've been invited to what may be the first total collaborative effort between this many NBA YouTubers. Courtesy of the NBA Storyteller, we're joining together to help celebrate the NBA Finals now that they're only a day away. We were all tasked with making a very short video about our personal favorite moment from any NBA Finals. Oh wait, any NBA Finals? Oh damn, I thought he meant like in the last decade, whoops. Alright, look, I may not have been paying attention when I was reading, but I see this as an absolute win. The finals that I remember best all happened pretty much in like the last 10 years, and my favorite finals moment was likely coming from that time range anyways. But the moment that I actually pick, if you've been following me for a long enough time, I think it's gonna surprise you.
James catches, puts up the three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
As a Boston Celtics fan, what makes my greatest finals moment, my favorite finals moment in NBA history, a Ray Allen shot for the Miami Heat? Where could I have possibly have found joy in that? Well, see, that's the thing. I find more joy in the actual memory than the moment itself, if that makes sense. So let me go ahead and get my rocking chair out and tell you all a story. You may be a new NBA fan. You may have joined during this Golden State dynasty in which they're now competing for their 4th title in 5 years. And if so, the Warriors may be your villain. They've been the villains of the NBA for some time now. And the way that the Golden State Warriors are now your villain, that's what the Miami Heat were to a lot of people, including myself in the year 2013. So I am totally unashamed to tell you that I watched that NBA Finals intensely. Every movement, every missed shot. I had an emotional investment in seeing the San Antonio Spurs win the 2013 Finals. And in the way that a lot of you want to see Golden State lose this NBA Finals because you think it may just influence Kevin Durant to finally leave, that's how I needed the Miami Heat to lose in 2013, because I just thought maybe if they lost 2 finals in 3 years after promising a total of 7, I just thought maybe the Miami Heat would prematurely disband. And that Ray Allen moment, it crushed all of that. It's rather easy to understand the impact on the NBA that this shot had, as I really think it's probably the consensus greatest shot in NBA history. But to understand how it actually felt, I think you needed to be there that night watching it, and that's why I'm so thankful that I was. Because even though I woke up with a migraine level headache the next morning, I can remember every detail of what that night felt like. And the reason I remember it that well is because the Spurs were in control of that entire game. Kawhi Leonard had like karate chopped Mike Miller in the face while dunking on him. They were up double digits at a point, and we were all making jokes about Eric Spoelstra being fired. And overall, it had a lot of 2011 vibes to it. But by far the most memorable moment of that night was bearing witness to Doctor Strange's one successful outcome. Because to this day, I've never seen everything that has to go wrong for a team go wrong for them to lose the game. Okay, not in a game of this magnitude. The Spurs had it won. All they needed was to make free throws. All they needed was a rebound. There was a couple of scenarios, and if just one of them had went the way it normally goes for the Spurs, they would have walked off champions that night. And when Manu Ginobili collected that final turnover from LeBron James, I vividly remember running around my house yelling. At that moment, the tone of Mike Breen's voice changed. It changed to that tone he uses when you know that it's getting away from the other team or that the game has really slipped away from the other team. He was entering his conclusions. The crowd was dead and emptying. LeBron had this really just dark look on his face. It was this look as if he was living his worst nightmare. But merely a few plays later, he'd too bear witness to the greatest shot in NBA history. The initial play was ran for LeBron. It was his moment. He was the best player on the floor. This was his legacy moment. And the first thing you'll notice on the Spurs side of the floor is that there's no Tim Duncan. And this has become part of the story over the last few years, a part of the narrative, that Tim Duncan wasn't on the floor for the last play. I believe Jeff Van Gundy even made mention of it, and after going through the breakdown, I'm not sure exactly why that's such a big point, because Popovich and the Spurs knew the Miami Heat needed 3. And they also knew that playing small to match Miami's small lineup would give them a better chance at defending against that 3 rather than having Tim Duncan have to patrol the perimeter, which is exactly what he would have had to do on this play. Right here, this is Boris Diaw. He's defending Chris Bosh, who will eventually be the screener on this play, but had it have been Tim Duncan, it would have just been him guarding the screen action. Bosh goes to set the screen on Parker, but LeBron James is entirely too far away and at a bad angle for this pass. That's a pass that could have been intercepted multiple ways from Kawhi Leonard, Boris Diaw. That would have been a very hard pass to just float over like that with the Spurs defense flying around. So as Parker is caught up on the Bosh screen, LeBron goes the opposite way. That worked the way it was supposed to, because before Parker noticed where LeBron was going, he was already on the other side of the screen, which forces Boris Diaw to come out and contest as well. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how Chris Bosh got the rebound. It was not because Tim Duncan wasn't on the floor. Either way on this screen, Parker got tricked. So if the Spurs did not want the Heat to tie the game, whoever this was, Diaw, Tim Duncan, they were going to have to contest this 3-pointer. So Parker and Diaw both come out on LeBron, and look at Bosh, floating right into the paint next to Ginobili, Danny Green, and Kawhi Leonard. Nobody near his height down there in the paint. Now, credit Bosh for the most important rebound of the Miami Heat season. He didn't let Ginobili poke it loose. Danny Green swiped at it, couldn't get to it. Kawhi Leonard probably did not want to foul, so he never really went for it. And credit to Ray Allen. I read Ray Allen's book, and he said specifically this is something he used to practice, getting back to the 3-point line in a hurry, and he was able to get to the toughest spot on the floor without going out of bounds. Never once looked at the line, knew exactly where he was in space and time the whole play. And because Ginobili has fallen down trying to collect Bosh's rebound, anybody who wants to get to Allen is simply too late for what was then the greatest shooter of all time. And everybody tried to. Green launched, Leonard launched, and Parker was all in his landing space. It was a decent contest given the situation, but it just wasn't enough. Ray Allen, with a single shot, saved the entire Miami Heat organization from endless slander during the summer of 2013. And it doesn't look as if he ever broke a sweat. He didn't look worried, nervous. He did exactly what Miami had signed him to do that summer. So looking back at this 6 years later, I did not enjoy that shot. But I hate the fact that I didn't get to enjoy that team the way I should have. Sometimes I catch myself watching LeBron James and Dwayne Wade highlights, and I realize despite those guys playing for 4 years together night in and night out, I don't think I ever quite just got to sit back and enjoy what they were doing. The alley-oops, the full court passes, it feels like I was always on edge. And it kinda reminds me of a team that's starting their 5th NBA Finals tomorrow night. Don't get me wrong. When July rolls around, there won't be a better message I can receive this summer than seeing that Kevin Durant has left the Golden State Warriors. I would love to go into next season knowing that it's not going to take injuries for there to be some suspense in the NBA Finals. That being said, just like the Miami Heat were, the Golden State Warriors are an amazing collection of talent and play beautiful basketball. So for the moments that you can't do anything about the way they are today, enjoy them while you can, cause you may just find yourself 6 years later wondering how you never appreciated watching Steph Curry and Kevin Durant on the same court.